Now listen, I ain't here to waste your time today. I'm here to tell you something that might just flip the switch in your life. See, everybody talking about success, glow ups energy, all that fancy talk. But let me break it down real simple. If you want to walk in a room and shift the atmosphere without saying a word, you got to become an aura, not just look good. Nah, I'm talking about feel good, think good, live good. There are rules to this thing, man. You don't wake up and just have it. You build it. You protect it. You train it. Your inner dialogue is the engine that drives your life, whether you realize it or not. Every single day, every single moment, there is a conversation happening inside your head. It's the voice that wakes up with you, that follows you into the shower, that rides with you on the way to work, that whispers to you in moments of fear, doubt, and triumph. That voice, your inner dialogue, is the first blueprint of your aura. It sets the tone for how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how others perceive your energy. If that voice is filled with negativity, with self-doubt, with fear, then your energy will reflect that. If that voice is confident, grounded, loving, and firm, your aura will carry the strength of that energy into every room you enter. People can feel what you think about yourself before you say a single word. The truth is, most people let that inner voice run on autopilot. It's been shaped by childhood experiences, criticism, heartbreaks, failures, and the world around them. It becomes a loop of limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve more. I always mess up. And what they don't realize is that those thoughts are like seeds. And the more they repeat them, the more they water them. Eventually, those thoughts grow into the reality they live in. That's how powerful inner dialogue is. It's not just mental chatter, it's prophecy. The way you talk to yourself becomes the way you walk, the way you stand, the way you treat others, and the way the world responds to you. You cannot build an aura without taking control of that voice. You have to become intentional with your thoughts. Every time that negative thought shows up, and it will, because the mind is conditioned to protect you, you have to pause, catch it, and rewire it. You have to talk back to it like you're defending your future. You say, oh, no, I am worthy. No, I do deserve this opportunity. No, I'm not going to sabotage myself again. That is not fake positivity. That is training your mind to align with who you are becoming. It's spiritual discipline. It's energetic hygiene. And it's how you build a powerful, unshakable aura. One of the most important things you can do to master your inner dialogue is to speak to yourself like someone you love. If you wouldn't say it to your child, your mother, or your best friend, why would you say it to yourself? Why would you be your own bully, your own critic, your own enemy? You've got to become your own coach, your own motivator, your own healer. Because at the end of the day, your aura is not created by what people think of you. It's created by what you think of you. And that relationship begins with your thoughts. Another major key is to get quiet. In today's world, we're constantly distracted, scrolling, clicking, watching, comparing. We rarely stop to observe our own thinking. But if you want to elevate your aura, you need to start taking inventory of the thoughts you entertain. Sit in silence, tempt, reflect, journal, meditate, ask yourself, what am I really telling myself every day? Because you can't fix what you won't face. Awareness is the first step toward transformation. When you start listening to your thoughts like an observer, you gain the power to choose which ones you'll accept and which ones you'll reject. It's also important to use your voice to reshape your mind. Affirmations are not clichés, they are declarations of power. But they only work when you say them like you believe them. You have to speak life over yourself daily. Not just when things are going wrong. Even when you feel good, speak better. Say things like, I am evolving. I am evolving. I am magnetic. I am divinely guided. I am aligned with purpose. These are not just phrases. They are energetic vibrations that rewire the neurons in your brain and reshape the posture of your spirit. You are reprogramming your aura every time you speak. Your inner dialogue also determines how you respond to challenges. Life is going to test you. You will face rejection, disappointment, failure. But if your internal voice is strong, you'll face those moments differently. Instead of saying, why me? You'll say, try me. Instead of collapsing under pressure, you'll rise into purpose. Because your aura isn't about avoiding problems, it's about how you handle them. And the way you handle them comes from the story you tell yourself in the middle of the storm. You've got to become fluent in your own truth. Stop repeating stories that don't belong to you. Just because someone once told you that you're not smart, not attractive, not capable, doesn't mean that's who you are. That's their story, not your destiny. And if you're still hearing that voice in your head, you need to introduce it to a new one. One that speaks to your greatness. One that reminds you who you really are. One that walks with you like a silent bodyguard, reminding you that you were never average. You were just misinformed. And once you change the voice, the energy changes with it. The aura follows the mind. The mind leads the aura every time. Your peace is not just a feeling. It's your power. It's the foundation of your aura. If your spirit is constantly disturbed, reactive, or exposed to chaos, your energy becomes scattered, fragile, and vulnerable to the outside world. Protecting your peace isn't about being selfish or cutting people off for no reason. It's about recognizing the value of your own mental and emotional state and defending it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your growth, your clarity, your decisions, your intuition, all of it functions at a higher level when your peace is intact. When you're calm on the inside, you gain the ability to move strategically in a world that's full of noise and distractions. In every stage of your life, you will be tested by people who want access to your energy but bring nothing but disruption. They'll come in forms that look familiar, even friendly. Friends, family, coworkers, even lovers. Not all chaos announces itself loudly. Some of it comes disguised as comfort. But if you're paying attention to how you feel when certain people leave your presence, drained, anxious, frustrated, that's your spirit showing you what needs to go. You can't build a powerful aura if you keep handing your peace to people who haven't earned the right to be near it. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are filters to let the right people in. And when you raise your standard of peace, you raise your standard of connection. Protecting your peace also means managing your environment. The energy around you either supports your growth or stunts it. Your physical space is a reflection of your internal space. If your surroundings are chaotic, cluttered, or constantly filled with noise, it becomes hard to maintain clarity. Create space that reflects the energy you want to embody, whether it's your bedroom, your workspace, your car. Make it peaceful. Make it intentional. Let it feed your calm, not your stress. Your aura is shaped by the space you spend the most time in. Clean it, elevate it, honor it. Another crucial part of protecting your peace is disconnecting from digital distractions. The phone you scroll every morning, the endless opinions, comparison traps, clickbait negativity. None of that is designed to protect your energy. In fact, it's designed to provoke it. You've got to be intentional with what you consume. Every post you see, every video you watch, every voice you listen to, it's all entering your mental field. If you allow everything in, your mind becomes a battlefield of other people's agendas. But when you curate your content, when you choose what to feed your spirit, you begin to shape your aura with precision. Learn how to unplug. Learn how to be still. Learn how to log off so you can log into yourself. It's also about learning the power of your no. One of the greatest signs of self-respect is being able to say no without guilt. Not every invite needs your presence. Not every opportunity is aligned with your purpose. Not every conversation deserves a response. You don't owe people explanations for preserving your sanity. When your peace becomes a non-negotiable, your decisions become clearer. Your yes becomes more powerful. Your time becomes more valuable. And your aura begins to carry that strength with you. People respect what you respect. When they see that you honor your peace, they learn how to approach you differently. Emotional discipline plays a massive role in this too. There will always be triggers. People will say things. Life will throw curveballs, but you can't afford to react to everything. The more reactive you are, the more control you give away. Protecting your peace means learning to pause, learning to breathe before you speak, learning to observe before you act. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to clap back at every insult. Some battles are beneath your energy. The more you mature emotionally, the more you realize that silence can be louder than words. Stillness can be more powerful than defense. This type of control builds an aura that is respected without being aggressive, strong without being loud. Inner peace is also about releasing what you can't control. Some of your stress comes from trying to manage people, situations, and outcomes that are not in your hands. But peace comes when you surrender to what is and trust what will be. That doesn't mean you give up. It means you release the anxiety and operate in flow. You do your part and let life handle the rest. Your aura becomes magnetic when you stop forcing and start aligning. You create a presence that feels safe, grounded, and focused, not frantic, desperate, or unsure. That's what people gravitate toward. Not just looks, not just words, energy that feels whole. And finally, protecting your peace means practicing emotional hygiene daily. Just like you brush your teeth, clean your skin, or take a shower, you need to cleanse your energy. Sit in quiet, reflect, pray, write, meditate, listen to music that heals, spend time in nature, say no to what drains you and yes to what fills you. Your aura is the result of the energy you allow and the energy you reject. When you protect your peace like your future depends on it, you begin to attract everything that was meant for the version of you who finally understands their worth. The way you present yourself to the world speaks long before your words do. Your aura is not just spiritual. It's visual, physical, and intentional. How you dress, how you groom, how you carry yourself, all of it sends a message about how much you value yourself. When people see you, they form impressions in seconds. That's not superficial. It's psychological. The brain is wired to process visual information quickly. And whether you like it or not, the way you show up tells a story. You have the power to write that story with purpose. Attempt. Dressing the way you want to be addressed means showing up like someone who already respects themselves, already knows their worth, already believes in their purpose. You don't wait until you get the job, the money, or the recognition. You present yourself as if you've already stepped into that version of yourself. This isn't about expensive clothes, designer brands, or impressing other people. This is about alignment. Your appearance should align with your inner standard. If you want to be seen as powerful, polished, focused, and grounded, then your look should reflect that. Your style becomes your armor. Your energy becomes your signature. And the combination of both becomes your aura. When you walk into a room before you even open your mouth, people should be able to sense your discipline, your pride, your attention to detail. You are always communicating something, your clothing, your posture, your grooming, your presence. It all plays a part. And when those elements are intentional, you start commanding attention without asking for it. Dressing the part is about setting a tone for your day. What you wear affects how you feel. You've experienced it. You put on something clean, sharp, and fitting, and suddenly your posture straightens, your confidence rises, your energy shifts. That's not an accident. Studies show that your clothing can impact your psychology. When you dress in a way that reflects the mindset you want to carry, your brain responds. It's called implode cognition, and it proves that what you wear can influence how you think and perform. So when you're intentional with your image, you're not just sending a message to the world, you're sending a message to yourself. You're saying, I take myself seriously. I am ready. I am focused. I belong in the room. You also have to understand that style is part of your identity. It's not about copying someone else or fitting into a trend. It's about developing a signature, something that feels authentic, elevated, and uniquely you. When you find your look, your color palette, your go-to pieces, your favorite cuts, you begin to cultivate a brand. And no, not just in the marketing sense. A personal brand is simply the feeling people get when they see or experience you. It's your visual aura, and a strong personal brand builds consistency. People begin to associate you with excellence, with elegance, with energy. That consistency builds trust, and trust builds influence. Now, you don't have to dress like a celebrity or show up in a suit every day, but you do need to look like you respect yourself. That might mean clean shoes, a well-fitted outfit, or just making sure your hair and skin are taken care of. When you neglect yourself, people notice. When you honor yourself, they notice even more. There is power in the details. That extra 5 minutes to iron your shirt, the decision to wear something that flatters your frame, the effort to keep your nails clean or your beard trimmed. These things are not small. They add up. They speak volumes about your self-respect. And your aura is rooted in how much you care for yourself, even when no one is watching. Your appearance also affects how others treat you. Whether in business, relationships, or day-to-day life, people are more likely to take you seriously when you look like you take yourself seriously. Presentation earns attention. Attention opens doors. Doors lead to opportunities. It all starts with how you show up. People are busy. They don't always have time to get to know your story, your heart, or your talent. But they do see how you carry yourself. And in many cases, how you carry yourself determines whether they even give you a chance to show the rest. What you wear is a daily decision. And every decision is a declaration of who you believe you are. It's not about vanity, it's about vibration. You want to raise your aura. Start with how you present yourself. Create rituals around getting ready. Don't just throw something on. Think about your intention for the day. Dress like someone with purpose. Walk like someone who knows where they're going. When you put in that effort, not only does the world notice, you begin to believe it for yourself. Confidence is built through action, and sometimes that action is as simple as standing in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eye, and deciding that today you're going to look like the person you say you are. In a world that constantly rewards loudness, being quiet with purpose comes a rare kind of power. We're living in an age where everyone is trying to be seen, trying to be heard, trying to prove something. But the ones who truly leave a mark are the ones who know how to move with intention, not noise, to attempt. When you move with purpose, you don't need to announce every step, prove every point, or seek constant validation. Your energy speaks for you. Your focus becomes your presence. Your aura becomes unshakable, not because you're the loudest in the room, but because you're the most aligned with what you're doing and why you're doing it. Noise is often a sign of uncertainty. People who aren't sure of themselves tend to overcompensate with words, with drama, with unnecessary attention. They chase applause because they haven't yet clapped for themselves. But when you're centered in purpose, you move differently. You're not in a rush to impress. You're not comparing your journey to anyone else's. You're not addicted to being seen. You're addicted to being effective. Your moves are calculated. Your steps are intentional, and your silence becomes strategy. That is how powerful a grounded aura can be. It doesn't scream for attention. It attracts it without trying. Purpose gives you clarity. It becomes your compass. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your vision. You stop participating in distractions that pull you off course. You start asking better questions though. Does this serve my purpose? Is this worth my energy? Will this decision get me closer to where I want to be? When you move with purpose, you eliminate confusion. You know why you're doing what you're doing. And that knowing gives your presence weight. You're not just showing up, you're showing up for a reason. That kind of energy is magnetic. People can feel it. They may not even understand it fully, but they know when someone walks in the room with direction in their eyes and silence in their strength. On the other hand, noise distracts. It spreads your energy thin. It makes you reactive instead of responsive. It puts your power in the hands of public opinion. When you constantly need to prove, or perform for others, you lose touch with the internal voice that actually guides your progress. Moving with purpose means learning to protect that voice. It means getting quiet enough to hear it. That might like working in silence, building without broadcasting, or celebrating small wins privately. Not because you're hiding, but because you value your energy too much to spend it on meaningless performance. People often confuse being seen with being successful. But visibility without direction is like a car with flashing lights, but no engine. You're getting attention, but you're not going anywhere. Purpose is the engine. It's what drives you forward when no one is watching. It's what keeps you grounded when things get hard. It's what separates those who make noise for a moment from those who make impact for a lifetime. When you move with that kind of internal motivation, you become unstoppable. Not because you're always loud, but because you're always locked in. You also begin to understand the power of timing. Purpose teaches you patience. You realize that everything doesn't need to happen now. Every move doesn't need to be rushed. Some things require preparation. Some breakthroughs require silence. Some stages aren't ready for you yet, and you're okay with that. Because when you're moving with purpose, you trust the process. You know that what's meant for you doesn't need to be forced. It just needs to be aligned. That mindset creates an aura that's calm, collected, and confident. You're not moved by trends, by pressure, or by panic. You're led by something deeper. Purpose also gives your life meaning. When you wake up knowing that what you're doing matters, your energy shifts. You walk differently. You speak with conviction. You treat people with more grace. You operate from intention, not ego. And when others interact with you, they feel it. They feel your calm. They feel your clarity. They feel your vision. That's when your aura becomes unforgettable. Not because you're trying to be important, but because you're living in alignment with something greater than yourself. Moving with purpose doesn't mean you don't speak up or shine. It means that when you do, it's from a place of truth. To attempt. Your words have weight because they're not rushed. Your actions have power because they're not random. Your presence has value because it's built on something real. People remember that. In a noisy world, authenticity stands out. And when your moves are rooted in purpose, your aura speaks volumes, even in complete silence.